Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm going to show you how to develop a CI/CD pipelines that will build a Docker image of your application and push it to a private container registry, and then it will deploy your Docker image of your application using Docker Compose to a cloud server. So let's start this video. We will use AWS for this container registry and the EC2 server. So the Docker image will be pushed to the ECR, that is Elastic Container Registry of AWS, and we will also use EC2 virtual machine for the deployments, and we are going to use Docker Compose for uh, deploying the Docker image as a container. So let's start. At first, let's clone this repository. This is a simple Python Flask application that's actually hello world applications, and let's at first clone it. Okay, then we're going to open this in our Visual Studio Code. So I have already created the CI/CD YML here, and also there are Docker files and Docker Compose YML. So this CI/CD YML actually follows some steps, like at first I have mentioned the branches, like uh, in which branches it will be triggered automatically. We can give many branches like dev or then staging or stage. It will be dependent on the architecture, your source code. So for this tutorial we are just using the main branch, and then we have defined the name of this CI/CD pipelines, like it will show it when it will be deployed, I can show here in the actions. You can see here build and deploy Docker. So it's the name actually of the action CI/CD. So then the jobs started. At first we need to select an agent actually, because when we are deploying the application, at first it builds the image, then push the image, and then it deploys the image. So for this, all of these steps, we need an agent where it will be where all of these steps will be executed. So that's why we are actually allocating an agent actually. That's actually Ubuntu latest. So then we are checking out, because it's needed to check out the repository of uh, it needs to check out the repository a specific branch actually. So it's checking out, and then we need to configure our AWS credential, because it's need to access the Elastic Container Registry to push the image. So we are using a module, this AWS credential module here, and let's upgrade it. It's v1. We can use v2. And then we need the AWS access key, that is one is access key and another is secret key, and we need to also define the uh, AWS region. So all of these secrets that we are actually mentioning here, it's from actually secrets of GitHub actions. So we need to set it up. um, we will show it how we'll set it up, but at first we are just giving the overview. So then we need to log in to the ECR using this ECR login third party it's not third party, I think it's from AWS. It's from AWS and we are using these modules. So it will be logged in, and then it will build the image using this environment variables like ECR repository and ECR registry and ECR repository. So we will create the repository in ECR, and then it will use the docker build command to build the image, and then it will push the image, and it's just showing the output, so we don't need it here. We will commenting it out, and finally it will deploy the application to AWS EC2. So for this we need the private key of the EC2 machine, and then host name, the username, and ECR registry also. And finally it will actually create a PEM file here from the private key, and it will give the permission to the PEM file, and then it will use the set command to replace the variables of docker compose.yml like github sha, and then ECR registry to the ECR registry URL. You can see here the file name docker compose.yml, and it's replacing this two variable. And finally it will copy scp, means it will copy the docker compose.yml file to the EC2 server using username hostname, and then it will finally SSH into the machine, because we need to execute the docker compose.yml on that machine, and the application will be actually executed from that machine. So we are actually accessing the server, and then we need to just use the docker compose command to up the application. Here we are using backend Flask container, so we just mentioned here, and then we are done. Our application will be deployed automatically using this CI/CD YAMLs. So let's start. At first we need to create our EC2 instance here. Just click on the launch instance, and we need to give the server name. It's app server. We are selecting Ubuntu image here because we are going to use Ubuntu OS. And then we need to create a key pair here. So I have already created key pair, so just I'm selecting this. But if you have not created already, just create a new key pair, and when you will click on the button, you just need your key pair name, like key pair, and then you need to, when you click on this, it will download a PEM file like I have here, this app server.pem. And then after that you need to give the permission here also, chmod 400 server PEM, and you are done with the key pair. And after that this is the network setting. It will actually allow you to access the VPC, and there will be a default subnet here. So we are not setting it up, we are taking the default one. And then you need to create a security group here. Just allow HTTPS and HTTP, so you can access your application and you can access from anywhere. And finally, it's configure storage. We don't need much storage here, so we are using the default one. And then click on the launch instance. So it's creating the EC2 instance, and let's check. You can see here it's pending now. It will take some time, so just refresh it and you can see here if it's running or not. And in the meantime, you just click on the app server, and you can see here it's running, and now it's initializing. So in the meantime, we can set all of the stuffs for our GitHub action. Like we need host name, then username, then a private key, so just click the connect button here, and you can see all of these things, like its username, and this one is the host name. So let's go to the settings of your repository, and then click on the secret and variables, click on actions, and then you can see here um, the repository secrets. So just, if you have not already, because you should not have, because I have already created, you just need to create on the new repository secret, and then just type username and give the username Ubuntu, and you can add the secret here. So similar thing, just create new repository, like, and give the host name, like host name, and you need to just copy and paste the host name here, and it will need some access. Just give your access by typing your password. So it's updated, and username is already there, and you just need SSH private key. So for this, as you have already downloaded the PEM file, just cat it. Need to cat. Okay, you can see here the key. So just copy from the begin to the end, and then paste here SSH private key. You just need to create new repository secret. I'm just updating it. SSH private key and just paste it. Okay, and then it's updated. And finally, you just need to create all of these things, like you need AWS access key and secret access key for accessing your ECR container history. Okay, so just you need to just access it. Let's SSH into our server, and you can see here we are already here. So we are in the server now, and let's create create a user, okay, for our CI/CD application, because this user will have some accesses, like it needs some access to the ECR. So we will just keep the specific access, will not give all access. So this is the best practice, that you need to select, you need to create a user, new user, and you will just give the access. So we can do it in IAM, that is Identity and Access Management, or AWS. So let's do it. You can see here the users, click on users and just create here, click on add user, give the username. So it's I'm typing ECR user. So it has access to, it should have access to the ECR. So I'm typing ECR user, or adding some new thing like ECR CI/CD user. Okay, all right, then click on next and attach policies here. So just search here for ECR, and you can see here the container builds, ECR container builds. Just mark here and click on next, then create user, and yes, you are done. And just click on this ECR CI/CD user, then security credential. You need to create access key and secret access key. So here you can see here access key, just create access key, click on the command line interface, click mark on this, then next, and yeah, you have created it. Just copy it and then paste here. You need to create, if you have not already, just create a secret. I've just updated it. You have to just create a new repository secret and give the name like AWS access key ID and paste the access key. We are using default one, so we are using AWS S2, and just copy it, then paste here in the secret access key. Okay, and it's important to not disclose your access key, secret access key, because if anyone get the access, then they can use it. So as I'm recording this video, I will delete this user access key and secret key later, so that will not be issue for me. So we have updated all of these things, I think, and let's create our ECR right now. So this one is the elastic container registry, and we can click here, get started. We will use actually private, because if you are using private repositories, then no one can access your image, Docker image, because your Docker image should be private. And if you select public, then it will be public, as we need to create private repository. Let's create it and give a repository name. So I'm giving this repository name. So you can enable it. It will ensure that your tag is not actually overwritten. Then you can also enable it, because if you want to scan, or if you want to enable KMS encryption, or your custom encryption, but we are not going to use here. So let's just create. All right, so we have created our repository. And the next thing is we need to install Docker and Docker Compose in our server. So I have actually um, attached some commands here, so you can just copy and paste from here in readme file. So I'm doing also just do these things together. So I have just copied all of the commands and just pasted it. And I think some commands have not been executed. Just type again. Okay, so we can access Docker. Yeah, you can see here the version is there. And now we will use this command to install Docker Compose. So yeah, you can see here the Docker Compose version. Now the situation is the GitHub action have the access to our ECR because we have just created access key and then secret access key and just attach it to the GitHub action. But this EC2 instance may not have access to the ECR. So what can we do? We can create a role. Just we need to go to IAM again, and then create a roles here. Create role, AWS service, select EC2, or just select it. Then click on next, type ECR and attach this image builder access policy. Click on next, give the role name like ECR CICD role and create role. Yeah, so role is there, role is created, and now finally we need to just log in. We need to log into our ECR registry from our server, EC2 server. So we need this URI. Just copy it to replace here your ECR URL, and our region is US is 2, so that's okay. Just and repository is also same. If you are using different repository, so your URL will be different. Just copy it. Of course you need to modify it and then paste here. And we have not installed the AWS CLI, so let's install it at first. Click enter or hit enter. Yeah, it's done. Let's again do this. Okay, so it's showing that unable to locate credential because we have not attached the role. Okay, so we need to attach the role to ECR. We have just created the role, but we have not attached to our EC2 instance with this role. So we need to attach the role with our EC2 instance. Let's mark this and click on action, then security, and then modify IAM role. Yes, select your role, ECR CICD role. I think this one. Yes, and update IAM role. I think it's updated, and let's again do this. Okay, so login succeeded. This means the machine, the EC2 server is connected with our ECR, so it can push image, pull image, delete image, and actually we don't need to push image from here. We just need to pull it and deploy it using Docker Compose. So yeah, it has the access, and everything is done from our side, and just let's push our source code. Just change something here, or we'll change later again to see the changes. This one is the first time. All right, it's done. Let's check this. Click on the actions, and you can see here it's already running, and it's been triggered to main, and it says the unable to find version 2. So yeah, we have updated it and version 2 is not here. So let's change it to version 1. and it's again here because we have pushed. And you can see here is building the image and pushing it to ECR. This is pushing, and finally it's deploying to EC2. And we're done. It's green. So I think it has been deployed. Let's check this. We need the public IP address. Just copy it like this and paste here, and boom, you can see here we have successfully deployed our sample application to AWS EC2 using CI/CD pipelines. And definitely we are using Docker and Docker Compose. And let's push another changes here, like I'm changing his and giving my name here. And this is my blog site. You can just visit here to explore new tutorials and also courses. We have a course in Docker actually. We have recently launched it, and if you want to enroll it, you can just visit to my blog and you can enroll it from here. So this is my blog, and you can get the course from here, like live Docker course, and you can enroll from here. So let's push it and we can check the changes. Yes, it's here, updated contents. It's now building the Docker image. And it has pushed. And now it's deploying the application using Docker Compose. And yes, it's done. So if we want to check it, reload it. Okay, so you can see here it's my name. I have changed it. So we are done. Actually, we have successfully deployed our application in Docker. In Docker, and um, we are using CI/CD, GitHub Action CI/CD pipelines. And the server is from AWS EC2. And if you want to check the images, you can check here also. Go to the Elastic Container Registry and go to your repository, and you can see here like we have deployed two version of our application. So you can see here the image tags. All right, so yeah, we are done with our CI/CD application. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments, please do comments in this video comment section, and please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon so that you will get the notification when I'm uploading anything. um, And in the meantime, you can also visit to my blog and just subscribe here, give your email and subscribe, so you'll also get all of these important tutorials and cool tutorials actually. And I hope there are many tutorials for you, many important tutorials. Like this is one of the things that is the latest uh, application that I have built using GPT-3. That's a code converter, and this one is a KDS GPT tool that's for queries. And I hope in the next videos I will upload more videos that will be related with DevOps mostly, but also there will be other topics. Just let me know in which topic you want to get more tutorials here. And um I've started posting interview tutorials, like if you are trying to do remote jobs or applying for remote jobs like Turing, TopTal, I'm giving the solution here also. So yes, that will be definitely helpful for you. And if you want to do a course or learn more from our live course, you can ask anything, or you can uh, just enroll in the course and explore what we are actually teaching. So that's for it. See you in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.